The problem with God is that God is an experience. It's something you connect with. And the issue with all processes of enlightenment or transformation is that people that exist within that paradigm attempt to describe that experience, share it, document it, and provide it to humanity. And unfortunately, it's not something that can be understood. You see, what we're talking about is escaping the reactionary experience of the mind, a mind contained within the boundaries of fixated focuses on problems, living into a future where the future is better than today, a survival-based attachment to a perspective, a group of opinions, beliefs, where people spend all their life defending a perspective, being right. And everything that people think they understand or believe about God today is completely segregated them from the experience of God. That even things like enlightenment offered by Buddhism, for the vast majority of people outside of the experience of enlightenment, it's a philosophy. It's a behavior modification. It is something that doesn't even sound appealing, because nothing sounds appealing to people who are attached to a view of life with the instinctive survival mechanism of the fight or flight dominating their world, eliminating their access to their own imagination. They can't even think about the future without getting triggered, spending all their time trying to figure out this world, trying to understand it, failing to realize the world of understanding continues to propagate the non-reality of their perpetual suffering paradigms of thoughts created by children. Not good enough. The primary driving force of all humanity. They'll have us cut every tree, fish out every lobster, fill the ocean with plastic, and have every single man, woman, and child running on a treadmill to make someone rich. That's hell. Hell is the inescapable paradigm of the mind created at early childhood development, where the very thoughts that the child created to explain their first experience of the fight or flight mechanism, an all-encompassing sense of there being something wrong, was triggered in early childhood. And the genesis of thoughts of self became the self, became ways of being that project an overarching external experience that is survived as if it's real. That's why people fear disappointment like they would fear death, fear failure like they fear death. Somebody could lose their money and jump off of a building, failing to see that there's an objective experience running parallel with the illusion of ego. That underneath all of this nonsense, there's a version of you in there that's observing everything, that's seeing and recording everything, that's generating the appropriate emotion for all these moments. But because of the paradigm of the fight or flight reaction, attaching you to trying to make yourself good enough to make someone else happy, you don't see the wolves in sheep's clothing. You keep being manipulated, gaslit, darvoed, and you're being gaslit and manipulated by society itself, that you're playing the game of evil, trying to build your Tower of Babel in a world where Jesus would have told you finding the kingdom of God for the rich would be like putting a camel through the eye of a needle. Why would that be? Because the person that has succeeded in hell is now attached to their money, their material possessions, where they think they've made it. How's that going for Will Smith? How's Elon really sleep at night? You see, all the material success in the world would never bring you happiness, joy, peace of mind, or freedom. And that's the illusion that they want you to continue to subscribe to. That you're living not just in your own hell, but the hell of all human aspiration. Where rather than even having a Socratic education system, we've transformed education into another instrument of human aspiration, where people have to pick their path in life based on what's best for the survival of their ego. Where we fail to recognize with psychology the anomaly of human beings living reactionary realities with the emotionality of children, codependent attachments, meeting each other's needs, failing to recognize we're the only species that needs a therapist to make a relationship work, and the therapist can't make a relationship work. And all the psychology in the world can't stop school unalivings or prevent people from electing sociopaths. And we keep repeating history, failing to recognize that the salvation that has been brought to us was real, that the Enlightenment is real, that there have been many people that have attempted to teach us the way. Free us from this reactionary mind and restore us to what all other animals have. Find me all the chemical imbalances in nature. Why don't we have a DSM-5 to explain the behavior of lions or chimpanzees or baboons or rats or mice? Why is it that insects can reproduce successfully and human beings can't? Why is it that a mother bear can take care of her cubs and protect them and a human mother cannot? Why is it that penguins can pair bond forever and find their offspring in a sea of penguins, and they all look identical? Why is it that we think that the rules of nature are the survival of the fittest, when the rules are the survival of the most balanced? That while the lion might be the king of the jungle, the lion is not a vampire. It doesn't prey upon itself, does it? It doesn't hunt the gazelle out of extinction, does it? No, its metabolic rate, its reproductive rate, its predatory drive is in balance so it can survive in unison. A partnership, a symbiotic relationship. And you could see that if you take an animal from one ecosystem to another, you destroy it. Because everything on Earth evolved in balance, and we were the shepherds. We had the power of God in our mind, the ability to see the future, to create the future, to intervene. And anybody that touches this power of God in this lifetime gets crucified. Everybody that awakens in this reality will find parasites. All the chosen and gifted people that were told they were neurodivergent, that were told having creativity was meaning you were broken, were medicated, were living their lives thinking there's something wrong with them because they have ground up thinking, somebody that can see the big picture, somebody that naturally has a sense of morality and justice. And you're told that you're autistic, you're told that you're ADHD because you couldn't pay attention during the indoctrination process as they tried to use your fears of failure, as they tried to have you seek validation through grades, as they tried to have you sit there and subordinate your mind to believe that you could not ascertain the truth without them. That it's not about misinformation, it's about the fact that people have been indoctrinated to believe that they are broken, that they don't have intelligence or creativity. When every other species, look at them, they're the same. You don't see a genius elephant or dolphin. The creativity and the genius of the human mind is universal. It was our fall from grace, the genesis of identity of children, where you thought you were stupid, you thought you were broken, you thought there was something wrong, and so the genius of your mind is turned in on itself. And you're living your life sleepwalking through life as they continue to feed you more things to do, more bills to pay, inflation. And as you're running, aspiring to merely be good enough so everyone will approve of you in our society, they're dividing us, conquering us, using our life, taking our money in the form of taxes, doling it out, blowing up the world, stealing everything from us, our love, our light, our future, and they will destroy the planet unless we wake up. Unless we wake up. It's time to wake up.